A few videos ago, this moment happened.
And then I remembered a super rare Michael Tal game. It's that rare that I don't even remember where I saw it in the first place, and I looked for the past 3 hours for it, couldn't find it. But I remember a certain pattern from that exact game in which Tal had the same pattern here against the black pieces.
After 7 months of extraneous research, I have finally found the game. And let me tell you, it's an absolute beauty of a game. It starts off with pawn to e4, and no, it was not played by Michael Tal. His opponent went Nimzowitsch defense, and after d4, the Scandinavian variation of the Nimzowitsch. Today, this move is most principled, but in the game, pawn takes pawn and queen takes pawn happened. Knight f3 defending the pawn, and black's whole thing is that they want to put a ton of pressure down the defenders of the pawn to just increase the amount of attackers on this pawn, and castles long will follow suit. So white defends with bishop e2, castles long, and now pawn to c4, kicking the queen to the h5 square. Still a lot of pressure going on this pawn. So white responds with pawn to d5, the first and last mistake of this game, allowing for a glimpse of a move, black to punish this move with pawn to e6, but black misses and plays a dubious first move, bishop takes knight, giving out the bishop pair but also not developing, causing white to take back and gain a time on this queen. The queen goes to e5, escaping at once from the city, checking the king, and white plays a little bit scary, bishop e3, giving a pawn on b2, but this is a poison pawn. You cannot take it. But black does not follow the rules and takes this pawn at once, threatening this rook on the spot. What does white do? Completely dismisses black's threat and goes castles, sacrificing the first of many pieces in this 1972 chess game. Black indulges, eats like that kid in Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, queen takes rook, and now white plays this astounding sacrifice. Pawn takes knight. Brilliant move, sacrificing a second heavy piece in 2 moves. White has now sacrificed a queen and a rook in 2 consecutive moves. That is 14 points of material in 2 moves. Okay. Black indulges once more. Complete greed, insane greed. And now white's position looks like it's in complete shambles. We have literally 2 developed pieces, and that's it. Meanwhile, black has taken our best pieces, our crown jewels, like the British Museum, and just taken them for themselves. Stolen at once, never to be found again. But white avenges this. Pawn takes b7 check, forcing the king to b8, because if king d8, there's rook takes check, king here, and a soothing bishop c6 checkmate. So okay, the king obliges, king b8, and now white plays rook takes rook. A calm move, simply retrieving back the rook, down a queen, threatening a spicy checkmate, with the catalyst of this b7 pawn choke holding this king on the b8 square. Pawn to c6, breaking the bishop's armor of this b7 pawn. So white, feeling no rush, plays bishop takes pawn, continuing on this threat of rook d8, this time with b8 queen coming up. Black, having not touched the king side, if you interrogated this king right now and you would say, what is a king side? The king on b8 would be like, I don't know. My brethrens are not here to defend me. So the king goes to c7, trying to escape in what is a very, very sad king. Completely look at all these pieces. Completely neglectful of like half of the board the black pieces are. And here, white plays the move rook d7 check. Okay, so the king has 2 possible moves. The free bishop looks very enticing, but let's say you would go to b8. There's simply checkmate in 3 moves because this allows us to make a queen, and after king takes, There's mate in 1 with queen c8 check. And look at these pawn and bishop. Look at those. But the king takes this bishop. King takes c8. And here you wouldn't believe it if I told you, but white has a checkmate in 1 move. Pause the video if you want to solve it. Ralph Renaud plays one of the most clean, beautiful, aesthetically pleasing chess moves in all of chess history, with pawn promotion, knight, checkmate, game over. The king is completely imprisoned on a seemingly central square of the board, where knight is the catalyst to this rook, defending a piece taking up 5 squares away from this king. That same knight is checking and inflicting the checkmate on this king, upon which this bishop and pawn work nicely to take up the south and northwest sides of the corridor for the king, finishing off this game at once. An absolute masterpiece of the past. 1972, Ralph Renaud against Schmidt in West Germany. Insane. Like the video, subscribe if you like more of these, and see you in the comments.